Yes, good morning, all of you. I'm not Albert Einstein, but I'm pretty good. So, welcome you all. This is a MedBix webcast. I'm the host. My name is Ramana Namaraju. We have a really exciting program today, and we have a very this is a healthcare media channel. We are in a multiple. If you see that, we are in multiple platforms. If I show you that we are in LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and then Twitter, Amazon Live, and then in Instagram Live. So we are in multiple platforms. This is a new kind of a healthcare media streaming channel. So I want you to follow us. Is exciting. My job is to introduce some prominent people in the healthcare industry, physicians, healthcare CEOs, and the technologists, and nurses, and all of them are who are critical to the healthcare industry. The personnel I'm going to introduce and talk with them for a few minutes, and then I will introduce the concept. The concept today is the very woman that is she's a fierce feminist. That surprise is not going to be surprise for you, for some people. I hope it is surprise for you. Fierce feminist. She's a prolific fundraiser. She's a Nobel Prize winner, and she is connected with the radiology. And I'm going to talk about her. So that let me. We have a very distinguished guest today. I am going to introduce him. Just give me 1 second. He is that 1 second. This is yeah. Okay. I know him. I met him few times. I met him a couple of times. He remembers me only one time, but I met him a few times in RSNA and in the radiology conventions. I used to go quite a bit of the radiology conventions. But this distinguished guest, his name is Dr. Vikram Dogra, MD, internationally renowned professor of radiology, urology, and biomedical engineering, professor of the University of Rochester, New York. Okay, Dr. Dogra is an editor-in-chief of the Journal of Clinical Imaging Science and serves on the editorial board of the British Journal of Ultrasound. Dr. Dogra has published 222 peer-reviewed. Think about that, guys. 222 peer-reviewed scientific papers and 8 textbooks in radiology to his credit, including ultrasound secrets. We want to ask him about that. What kind of secrets those are all, and a class of the ultrasound guided procedures. Ultrasound guided procedures are very critical in a diagnosis because immunosynthesis, for example. Dr. Dogra has a 300 scientific national and international presentations to his credit. He has delivered 250 international lectures in various countries, including China, England, Egypt, Uganda, India, Turkey, Mexico, and Chile. We will ask him what are going on in advances in ultrasound, and then he's going to actually he's leaving for Hyderabad soon. So we'll ask him about that also. So let me bring him to the main stage. Dr. Dogra, welcome, sir. Welcome you all. Welcome to MedBix webcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So let me ask you, what are anything I'm missing? Your beautiful accolades, you have excellent credentials. Anything is missing that you can add on to it,
Thank you for the wonderful introduction. I think you have given a lot of accolades, and I'm thankful for all the people who have helped me in accomplishing a lot of things which I have accomplished. But it's always a teamwork. It's not possible to achieve or attain so many awards and so many achievements single-handedly. It's always the team, and I certainly want to thank my team for helping me in building my career to where I am today.
You are very modest. Thank you. So let's get back. RSNA is coming soon in December 1st, November last week, December 1st. What are the advances now in radiology in general, in ultrasound, particularly in ultrasound?
So
What are the
radiology,
ways you can detect? Maybe I can put the what are the new ways of detecting the through ultrasound new things?
so that's a very interesting question. Radiology is a very exciting field and has a very bright future. Currently, there are many new things happening in radiology. The first and foremost is the integration of artificial intelligence in the diagnostic field in radiology. We are already piloting many programs where we are integrating artificial intelligence in our day to day practice. For example, evaluating for brain hemorrhage, assessing for pulmonary embolism, assessing for free air in abdomen, so on and so forth. So those pilot studies are ongoing, and the role of AI would be increasing day by day. At the same time, there are many other algorithms are being built in AI, which are used in day-to-day operation to allow you to distinguish different pathologies seen in a given tissue. So that makes the diagnostic capability of radiologists go much farther than the current. Then the second, on the ultrasound field, there has been a lot of breakthroughs in the current uh, research and advancement, particularly in the field of piezoelectric crystal. You know that ultrasound is basically uh, dependent upon piezoelectric crystal to generate the ultrasound waves. The new development is there is no piezoelectric crystal in the machine anymore. It is all chip based. So the piezoelectric crystal has been replaced by a solid state. And if you look at the new technologies like butterfly, which is a handheld ultrasound, similarly exo ultrasound from California, handheld device, these all are now at the forefront and are being deployed in the university, private offices as a primary tool in diagnosing basic diseases at the first point of encounter.
Oh yes, so I seen that there is just a small ultrasounds that the probe the iPhone looks like a phone. They can connect with the probe, just the probe itself directly to them and see the images are crystal clear. That is a very when I used to sell ultrasounds, they used to size of the refrigerators. ATL ultrasounds, their size of the refrigerator I used to sell. Now with the iPhone, you can attach to the probe, you can see the entire body. That's an amazing advantage, Dr. Dogra.
That is absolutely correct. The current, like butterfly and this Axo and other GE portable machines are of the size of a smartphone. And because they are based on the chip technology, they have very high resolution and they're multi-probe. So the same machine is capable of a linear probe, curvilinear probe. It is one in all.
Mhm.
Like it's multiple probes in one machine, and it has a good penetration. It has a very good learning algorithms. It has a self-teaching module. So they're far advanced machines to be used today, and I am very proud to be part of such times. And in fact, in my university, we are deploying 3,000 butterfly machines for the primary care physicians to use and for the medical students to use in place of the stethoscope.
That's what we were talking before our this meeting, and the great extension of the physician, the two eyes, besides the eyes, the extension of his primary care physician eyes or ultrasound and X-ray, that they would give us a lot of information to him to diagnose a lot of diseases right on the point of care. Do you agree with that?
I do. That's absolutely correct statement. And this is an extension of their eyes. And I would say it is a big addition in their armamentarium for the diagnostic approach to the patient. And in the end, it's the patient who wins because earlier now for kidney stone they do not have to leave the primary care office. He can do the ultrasound right there and diagnose the patient has kidney stones. So it's a medicine being taken to the doorstep of the patient.
Yes, amazing. So, what are the advances in ultrasound? Particular now, my friend has a very good friend of mine. He's a lawyer friend, but is even though he's a lawyer, very rarely a lawyer could become a friend of you. He is a lawyer friend, and he is going through some tough times with a pancreatic cancer. What do you suggest? How do you? So the detection of the pancreatic cancer is always challenging. Is the ultrasound can help you detect earlier and much more before that it becomes any kind of a cyst you see that becomes a cancerous and then those kind of things.
So that's a very good question. And as you know, and everybody else knows, that detection of pancreatic cancer is a very challenging condition. So, as far as the ultrasound is concerned, the endovascular ultrasound, which is used by radiologists and also by the gastrointestinal experts, is one way where you can detect pancreatic cancer much earlier. However, the major tool today to detect pancreatic cancer is the CAT scan, multi-detector CAT scan with contrast enhancement and doing the pancreatic protocol. Of course, MRI does help, but there are some new uh, PET imaging agents being developed, which are currently in the pipeline, which will enable early detection of the pancreatic cancer. Also, there are new techniques like MR elastography being funded by the NIH, and currently the studies are underway, where good results are being seen because elastography, as you all know, started with ultrasound, but MR can also do elastography, and for pancreas, MR plus elastography is the gold standard.
You can do the elastography with ultrasound also, right? I used to sell that machine.
Absolutely, we do shear wave elastography with ultrasound
Shear wave elastography.
every
I
day
have a
for
master's in physics. That's why I know a little bit about shear waves and all those things.
correct for diagnosing liver diseases and categorizing the amount of fibrosis within the liver. Elastography is used. Now it's used in many other conditions, including thyroid gland for cancer detection, in the testicular cancer. In many places, elastography plays a very major role.
Again, very good. So, but what about the contrast agents? I used to talk with Dr. Nanda once some times ago. He was using a contrast material to see the heart. And is there any other contrast or bubble studies you can use a different contrast to get a better clear image with ultrasound, almost like a CT and MRI level of quality images?
Absolutely, the contrast, ultrasound contrast has come a long way. And you mentioned Dr. Nanda's name. He used to work at the University of Rochester, at the same place where I work, and he has done a lot of contributions to the development of the contrast ultrasound. Today we use that on a very regular basis. Especially, I use them for the liver disease as well as for the kidney cancer differentiation. It's a very, very helpful agent, and the images are very bright, very crisp, well delineated. You can study the blood flow to the tumor. You can time the blood flow. You can use the inflow curves and outflow curves to know the timing, uh, arterial phase, portovenous phase, and delayed phase. And different types of curves can be generated to evaluate different pathologies. So it's a very, very useful entity. It has come a long way. It is FDA approved for liver diseases and can be used for research purposes in other disease entities as well.
Dr. Dogra, there is a lot of talk about the CT scans in the cardiology side. There is a lot of talk in India. They say that you can possibly reduce the number of cats they do. So, could you please talk about a little bit about the CT scan involvement in the cardiology side?
So CAT scan today has come a very, very long way from the single detector uh, CAT scan. Now these are called multi-detector, and they go from 400 to 700 to 800 detectors in each CT, and the time has become very, very short. So, because of high resolution and short times, you are able to do the calcium scoring in the as a preventative portion to predict which patient may be prone to have more cardiac disease. You can do calcium scoring with the current CT. You can also do anatomic depiction. You can follow the patients with the post-surgically, patient can be followed, and artery angiography can also be performed with the current CT. It has come a long way.
Oh,
And
that is
also, all kind of congenital heart diseases can also be diagnosed, and pre-planning for surgery can be done.
just I want to extend that talk with you about PET CT and PET MRI. What are the advances going on in that area a little bit, if you can talk about?
So, as you know, that the most beautiful part is that now the PET and the CT images are fused, and then the real development has occurred in the development of new PET imaging agents. And just from F18, we have come a long way, especially nowadays in the detection of the prostate cancer and local regional recurrence of the disease. So PSMA, the is the gallium 68 PSMA scan is the state of the art today for the detection of the prostate cancer. Similarly, there are many other new advances on the way, like I mentioned for the pancreatic cancer. They will be available soon. The new agents, they are not yet available in the market.
So the radioisotopes, that's how I'm going to talk about actually the mother of all the radioisotopes. I'm going to talk about here in my presentation. But Dr. Dogra, the Patsy, the thing is you're editor of a journal, a very well, journal of that you can see the website clinicalimaging.science.org. That is a journal of that you need to tell me about your journal that you're a chief editor for that. Could you please explain a little bit about that, your journal?
Thank you for this question. It's very interesting. So, Journal of Clinical Imaging Science is now about 11 years old. This journal is a journal focused on the latest developments in radiology. As you know, radiology has 11 fields, and we publish all 11 modalities in our journal. Most we encourage original research and reviews and other unique and technical innovations to be published in a journal. The main aim is to promote radiology across the globe. This journal is read in 211 countries. It has more than 2 million followers. We have download of about 2 million per year. PDFs are downloaded. This is an open access, peer reviewed, completely indexed in PubMed Central, as well as in Scopus and Emerging Science Citation and many other places. This is a widely read. We have about 47% submission from United States and about 27% from India and about 20% from Turkey and rest from rest of the world. But
These are
we
all
have
peer-reviewed studies, right? These are all scientific papers.
all scientific papers. These are completely peer reviewed. This is a double blind peer review process. and every manuscript undergoes very rigorous double blind peer review, and based upon the peer review process, their outcome, uh, we have acceptance rate of about 27%.
Oh, that's second question. I'm going to do then when you're definitely. I encourage all the people that the people who are watching from me in LinkedIn Live, quite a bit of CEOs of hospitals and a lot of radiologists and cardiologists watching it. You see that you could publish along with him and then promote. All the companies, medical device companies, can sponsor and advertise in his journal. So Dr. Dogra, uh, I'm going to do a short presentation about the radioisotopes, the mother of radioisotopes. I'm going to talk about here. After I come back, I will ask you about your journal and the reach, and then the breast cancer. What is the research going on? Because I'm talking about a woman who is a mother of all these isotopes. And then, can you, when I get back after the presentation, I will ask you a couple of questions about the breast cancer side. That's okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Just okay. It's Dogra, very distinguished professor we had, and I'm going to just bring him also to the both of us will be in the side. Okay, so he is also watching along with us. This is the story of fierce feminist. She is a prolific innovator, prolific fundraiser, Nobel Prize winner, and I will tell you about her name. You will guess it. You can guess it. There was a poisoning in 2006. There was a polonium poisoning. It was a proton. These are the polonium is basically a radioactive material, and it emits the alpha radiation, alpha particles. They're not part of the electromagnetic spectrum, but they emit the alpha radiation. So so what happened was he was within few couple of weeks he died. He became just from here 43 years old man. He became polonium poisoning. He became like this. So if he would have, he was in London. He was a Russian defector, spy defector. So then the physics department in the Imperial College or College of London, they got involved. They one of the physics professor got involved and found these very classic symptoms of the radiation. So he could not find. So alpha radiations are very hard to detect because they don't travel that much within the air, only 4 inches. Very very weak particles. So you have to find out until you ingest it. That's they're dangerous. But if you are just outside, in Colorado, for example, or if you're in Australia, you'll get alpha radiation all the time. See, it's not a problem. One X-ray in every year, you get a couple of X-rays exposure. No problem at all. So, but this one is a Putin. They said that poisoned him in the hot tea in a hotel. So immediately got sick. Within 2 weeks, he's dead. So you can find the alpha radiation through Geiger counter with a special probe because he is not even going to the probe. It is you have to have a special glass to conduct to the. What they did was they dropped the silver plates inside the stomach, and then they attracted the alpha radiation, and then they took that out and then check it out. So they dropped the silver plate inside the stomach, and then they found out that he was poisoned by polonium. So the polonium is a deadly material, radioactive material. The next one is radium poisoning. I'll talk about radium poisoning. They used to be called radium girls. 1917 to I can't. Yeah, see, so 2000, 1917 to 1926. There was a radium corporation at a factory in New Jersey, Orange. Okay, in the Orange that the radiation ionizing radiation. What is radiation ionizing? It takes the stable materials and knocks off the electrons and then creates the energy for the electrons, and it's a very dangerous ionization process. It's dangerous to the human body. So it's the best. What they told us that you see on the left side the clock. We used to have in my house. That radium clock. In the night time it glows up. It's a big news at the time when it came out. Well, we can have a radium clock. So what they said, the girls they used to tell them they dip, and paint. That's what they taught us because to get on the numbers that you see the glowing. So the luminescent property of the alpha radium property, radium is another material. It's like a polonium. Is so the radium half life is it doesn't go that 60 half life of radium is 1600 years. So that means only half of the materials will disintegrate. So it has a long life, so it will stay 1600 years without a problem. So the clock is forever. So um, radium, radium necrosis, what they yeah, radium necrosis is started happening to these girls because in they started the necrosis is basically cells dying. So the jaw was affecting. They got a cancer of the jaw. They have bone cancers. So they went to the United States court, and they could not. They took 2 years to find a lawyer. Think about that. They wanted to protect the corporations. It comes to know we came to know that the executives know already the dangers of the radiation poisoning, but they did not talk about tell them. They did not say anything to them. So they recruited this woman, and they really poisoned them, intentional poisoning in my view. So they went to the court. Eventually they won the lawsuit. They got $10,000, say like $100,000, maybe $200,000 at the present, for their life. They paid their life for it. Okay, so that's where United States Congress passed the occupational hazard law. Occupational medicine came in the picture. That's where that is the then there is a idiots in every there are rich idiots everywhere, in all races. There's another golfer, Evan Bayer. His name is Evan Bayer. What he did was, they were selling $1 radium radium water to increase the sex life. This guy is an idiot. He drank it until his jaw got dropped and then dead. So people are crazy. People are everywhere. So the radium and the polonium and radium are two very deadly materials in the radium. That person who invented these, who discovered these polonium radium, is a soft woman. Yes, her name is Maria Salvia Sklodowska. Curie is her husband's name. That is her name, Mary Curie. Okay. She was born in 1867 in Poland, and then moved to France in 1934. She's an extremely intelligent woman. And then when she started the lab she was a winner, gold medal winner all the way. When she started, she got the lab. She is a Polish woman. They gave it to her a potato shed to do the experiments. It is a stable, the horse kind of a stable thing, and then they gave her potato shed to do all the experiments in this one. Think about the minimum resources. She did this woman, soft spoken, shy woman, from Poland in Paris. So So she created a first mobile X-ray machine. I used to have a mobile X-ray machine. I used to install them. I used to do everything in the mobile X-ray. World War One, Germany invaded France. So she designed the mobile X-ray. It's called Petite Curie. She's the inventor. Mobile. She designed the mobile X-ray. See that how cute it is. Even it looks good even today. So you can do that. So that she invented. She designed the mobile X-ray, but she went to the French government. They did not want to give her money. So what she did, she was amazing. She is not a. She wants to save the soldiers of the French soldiers. Against German soldiers. So this is the first X-ray. One of the first X-rays where the bullet. We can ask Dr. Dogra where the bullet is a heart or lungs, but is in the bullet. It is a bullet in the bullet X-ray. Then 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 so she needs to raise the money for this mobile X-ray machine. You know what she did? She went to the Parisian woman, all the women of prominent women in Paris, including the Coco Chanel. Chanel is a big fashion designer. You know that everybody knows Chanel. Coco Chanel. She's the high heiress of Coco Chanel company. She went there. She went to all these women and asked for money, and she got it. So she was only she went with a fundraiser she is, you know. So she raised money to build a 20 X-ray machines. Then she came to United States. She went to Henry Carnegie, gave a dinner, Mrs. Louise Carnegie, Mrs. Dinner, because she's already famous with the she got the Nobel Prize. She's already famous, but yeah, there was a talk about this radium and polonium can cure cancers. That is a big talk. So what they did was Mrs. Louise Henry Carnegie wife put a fundraising dinner together for her. She raised the money. She wanted money for the to buy a radium. 1 gram of radium is like $150,000. This is like $2 million now at the present cost. And then this old woman, she came to United States. All the people she in the world of Astoria, they gave a big welcome to her. They gave all the scientists, all the companies gave her a tremendous welcome. And then Smith College student, 2,000 of them, all women singing songs for her, praising her. There is another lady, Eunice Hunton, is one of the black women, one of the few black women during that time in the college. She was one of the singers that I heard. But this is the Mary got the excellent accolades from all walks of life, and then eventually she went to White House. That's the White House actual dinner. Calling them to everybody. They gave a excellent dinner. There is a dinner menu there if you want to read it. Um, but he said that the President Harding said that great attainment in the realms of science and intellect. That's what she said about Mary Curie. So she built the 20 mobile X-ray machines. She is not afraid. That's like during those days, that's the 18-wheeler almost. She started driving to the fields of battlefields. She's not afraid of anything. She is a Polish woman. She has a guts. And then she recruited 20 women as an X-ray operator. She trained X-ray operator, but you need to operate X-ray, right? So she's a fierce feminist. She recruited 20 women, and then she trained them. One of them is actually her daughter, her only daughter. There's two daughters she has. Her daughter is Irene Curie. Mother and daughter relationship is wonderful there. She trained her in X-ray, how to do X-ray machines. Daughter herself is a big. So Mary Curie got the two Nobel Prizes, one for discovery of radium. How do you find the radium and discover there is a existing? That was a big news during the time, even among the physicists. There is a party. There is a metals that radiate energy. It's kind of a news for them. It's shocking to a lot of people. A stable elements looks like a stable elements started emitting radiations. That's very strange to a lot of surprising news to a lot of people. That was she was awarded a new in the physics. Then she got the isolation. She did actual chemistry, isolating on the coal mines and all those things, isolating the chemistry from by that she got the second Nobel Prize for isolation of the radium. So she's the only woman until now, even now, she's the only woman won the Nobel Prize twice, physics and chemistry. Her daughter, Irene Curie, herself is famous in her own rights. She invented the artificial radioactivity. So she said that stable material, stable metals, if you expose them to enough to bombard them with radiations, they can become artificial radioactivity. They become that's what she found out. So she didn't find so she discovered the process for that, and she didn't invent the technetium, but these are the radium. These are the medical isotopes, technetium 99 and iodine 131. We can ask Dr. Dogra about it a little bit, but these are some of the widely used radioisotopes. So she won the Nobel Prize. So Nobel Prize is a family affair. There are 5 Nobel Prizes in her family. Marie Curie, and then Marie Curie's second one, and then Irene Curie, and then her husband Frederick Curie. 5 Nobel Prizes in the family. Think about that, how smart family is. So Marie Curie is a scientist. She refused patents. Now you see all the Silicon Valley, they invent some nonsense and they say patent. It's all bogus. They didn't want to do anything. This is like a making money. They don't care at the cost of people nowadays. It is really, she completely refused to patent the radium and polonium discoveries, for even isolation process. So she is a noble woman, and we need persons like that nowadays. We don't. That's missing, big time. It's all grab and so these are three cancer avengers. These are greatest. I tell you, these are all the people that we need to know a little bit about them. James Douglas is from. These are the from a three unrelated people, three walks of life joined together. One is a mining engineer from James Douglas. Is from Montreal, Canada, where I went to school. He went to he's a 1931 to 1981. His daughter got sick. She had a cancer, breast cancer, and he was running around the world, and he wanted to cure cancer. That's why he was a mining engineer. So he has a lot of money. So what he did was he went to Colorado and in mined quite a bit of radium in the Colorado mines. So then I tell you how they met together. Then there was a gynecologist in John Hopkins. He's from Pennsylvania. His name is Dr. Howard Kelly. He is really, if you talk about physician, he is the physician you need to talk about. When I was reading it, I was so emotional. My father was a village doctor and is a teacher, but I tell you, those are the people who do serve that way. What he did was he opened a clinic in Baltimore, and then he put in the 1800s, right? You put a rope to his toe in the nighttime, and the rope goes all the way to the waiting room inside in the down floor. As the patients come in the middle of the night, they can pull it. He gets up and see the patients. Think about that, guys. Let us think about that. What that means? How the medicine should be. We ask how noble this doctor is. He invented so many things in gynecology procedures. He was a very well-known gynecologist, and he got a lot of women gave him a lot of money actually to. So what he was doing is he was charging quite a bit of money in the private clinic and goes and free. He is doing the free operations to the John Hopkins main surgical centers. So he was one of the doctor to be met. That is a really, we need to know about him. Howard Kelly. Okay. Then there is a um, Gaetano Fila, Italian-born physicist. He worked under the Mary Curie. So then he moved to Memorial Sloan Kettering Hospital. So they all three get together and created a wonder, wonder called radium hospitals. So they created to cure cancer. Memorial Sloan Kettering hospitals were started with these three guys. Douglas gave money to start this, and he put a stipulation: it has to be cancer research center only. He cannot do any other things. That's what he said. He gave the money, and then they got the and he gave the 9 grams of radium. There is no other mines in the world has that much of 9 grams of radium. He had is the Memorial Sloan Kettering Hospital in New York has that much 9 grams of radium. That's the only hospital they had. It's an amazing. All three guys really contributed to the radiation oncology. There's father of the not only there is the father of the gynecology. They're all three guys from a different. That's why when I say why you need medicine, you need interdisciplinary field. You need mathematics, physics, art, technology, and all of those combined together, you get the innovation comes out. See that three guys, 1940s, they innovated and they tried to solve the problem of radiation oncology. They started it, you know. So she was died in 1934. She already her health was deteriorating. She was exposed to a lot of radiation, and she has almost became a blind in fact, and and then she was buried in the immortal pantheon. That's they call immortal pantheon in Paris. So all the famous people, kings, and and all the famous scientists are were buried there. So the Italians, she was buried along with her husband in the Pantanium. So so nuclear medicine exploded after that because of her. Nuclear medicine exposed 10,000 hospitals. Now they have a nuclear medicine around the world. 40 million procedures a year they do in nuclear medicine. Think about that. So there is a 40 million procedures per year on nuclear medicine. So she was the mother of all medicine. Nuclear medicine, there's two top modalities they use. It's called SPECT, single photon emission computer tomography. Single photon, for the physics nerds, I'm going to explain in a second. PET is a positron emission tomography, CT scan. I did a show on the PET CT over the Paul Dirac is one of the guys he invented the positron. So I made a tribute to him. So now this is tribute to Marie Curie. But the spect is a single photon. How do you get a single photon? You have a Ray-Ban glasses. If you wear it, actually you get the two photons. But they're not useful. You can only see some good-looking girls. That's all through it, because you can see all girls or whatever it is, but you can see them. But actually, crystal, what you do is you use a crystal, that Cecilium iode crystal. What it does is when you use that and you put a laser inside, it is actually for the physics nerds. I'm giving a not for the doctors may not like it that much, but this for the physics nerds. What it does is a Cecilium iodide. Or what it does, it hits the laser hits it, and it produces two photons, particularly in the 180 degrees in the it to why it brings two photons to conserve the linear momentum. That's the Newtonian physics. It only produces two photons exactly opposite to each other. So one you catch the detector, then you know that detector the other photon is already there, so you can put in the body. So you're indirectly measuring the body the photon hitting the body or not through the other detector. So it's so amazing. It's the physics of the is a simple Newtonian physics to conserve the linear momentum. So there is a two methodologies. There is a Marie Curie is a really, what she said was nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now it is the time to understand more so that we may fear less. Marie Curie, wonderful woman, and we do. I will explain to you. We do produce the way I support our program is through this daily way for medicine. I have Mary Curie T-shirts on Amazon. You can buy it, coffee cups, and all those things, all the swags. So you can go to RSNA. You can take them and give it to the doctors. Thank you all. Thank you for attending. Let me bring Doctor Doctor Dogra to the front table. Dr. Dogra, welcome, sir. Welcome back. I cannot hear you. I don't know. You're muted.
Thank you. It was a great presentation. Uh, I'm sure many people learned many new things about Marie Curie and how, in the end, her work led to the culmination of the world renowned cancer center today, Sloan Kettering, where most eminent people, most common people, most advanced diseases are treated, most cancers are treated. I have been there many times as a visiting professor. It's a wonderful institution. It has a great reputation, and they are doing a great service, uh, continuing the legacy of Marie Curie in the form of service to the humanity.
Thank you, sir. But so one of the women, Mary Curie is a woman. She's a fierce feminist. So one of the things is then the breast cancer. What is going on with the modalities? How we detect earlier to solve the breast cancer problem?
So, as you know, that breast cancer has come a long way. It number one, it's a very highly established specialty as mammography in radiology, and it's a very sought after specialty. People who work in this specialty, they only do breast diagnostic procedures. Screening mammogram still remains the state of the art to screen the patients. Of course, there's a lot of genetic workup being added to all that. In the machine side, most of the machines have become now digital. The resolution is very high. They also use what is called computer aided diagnosis, and there are new techniques from MR and from thermal tomosynthesis, so on and so forth, which are added into the breast diagnostic field.
So in ultrasound, you do the ultrasound of the breast. What do you do with like a soft tissues to classify? What are the what when you do the ultrasound of the breast?
So ultrasound of the breast is done in patients who are younger and in whom the mammography is contraindicated and who have family history of breast cancer. So they get screened by ultrasound. Ultrasound is a painless procedure. Breast is evaluated in four quadrants, like a clock face. 12 o'clock, then 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock. That makes the four quadrants, and uh, they have a yearly follow-up. And if there is a problem, then of course they go for MR. There are many other opportunities now available, such as photoacoustic imaging of the breast cancer is available. Cone
What
beam.
is that, sir? What is that? Can you repeat that?
It's called photoacoustic imaging.
What is I never heard that. Could you please
The
explain a little?
photoacoustic is a new evolving field in the world of imaging science, and in all my accolades, I must disclose that I own worldwide patent of this technology in North America, Europe, as well as India and China. And our machine for diagnosing cancer is currently in the uh, development, uh, and we are excited about it. Uh, what happens in photoacoustic imaging, in summary, it's a type of spectral analysis. So, uh, currently, MR machines can give, but spectroscopy, that spectroscopy takes a lot of time. In photoacoustic imaging, you are using infrared laser on one side, and the ultrasound waves come out on the other side. So you input infrared, and the output is ultrasound in the imaging uh, scale.
Interesting. Is the Raman spectroscopy is involved there, like Raman
No,
or
there is no. I mean, it's quite close, but as you know, the human body is made up of uh, billions of molecules. For example, oxyhemoglobin, deoxyhemoglobin, fat with water, fat without water. Now, each molecule has its own absorption coefficient.
oh really? That is
So
very interesting.
when you put laser into the body, it generates a thermal wave depending upon the absorption coefficient of that particular molecule
So at
and,
the molecular level, you're
and
getting information
molecule.
about a molecular level.
So, for example, say thyroid cancer, right? So, if you take thyroid cancer, we will see that the deoxyhemoglobin content has gone up, oxyhemoglobin content has come down, the free water content has gone up. So, like that, there are many other molecules which change. So, this becomes a signature of a given cancer.
We
And this
should.
all is accomplished under currently in our machine. We are able to do 4 by 4 centimeter area evaluation in under about a minute, and post processing takes about 4 minutes.
That's an amazing. It is. It's basically you can detect breast cancer through a small device, and then because the photo multiplier, right? It is.
Right.
It is
So
not the big device, right?
we have a handheld module which we are developing for the breast cancer. It will be just like an ultrasound probe. You hold it, you image the breast, and will let you know whether it is cancerous or not a cancer.
Yeah, you can go to the corner drugstore. You just can do the quick eventually you can do quick screening and it's done. Whether you have suspicious tumor
Right,
or not.
right. I mean, uh, I also have a collaboration with the Vishweshwara Institute of Technology in Nagpur
Oh,
uh,
really?
on a
Today I want to tell you Engineers Day. Visesvaraya is the Engineers Day today, actually.
yes, 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 I know. And we have a grant from Government of India, and we are helping them to develop a low-cost photoacoustic imaging machine for use in India.
Let me ask you about your clinical journal of medical science, sciences. Tell me about your the magazine that what you're doing. Sorry, journal. What your open source journal you're saying? Could you talk about a little bit about that?
As we mentioned previously, it's a very widely read journal. It has a very eminent place in the world of radiology. It's read over 211 countries. We have submission from the world over. We have a great, excellent editorial board representing all the continents, very eminent people, and I'm thankful to my team and the scientific scholar to publish this journal, and the editorial team to help me run this journal and bring it to this current state. As you can see, it's indexed everywhere. So people are welcome to read any article they like from it. It costs nothing, it's free.
Ladies and gentlemen, you see in the bottom of his name, clinicalimagingscience.org. That is Dr. Vikram Dogra. Clinicalimagingscience.org, the website. So, so you should follow that. He was talking about very advanced things, solve the humanity's problems. So with the photos spectroscopy. So anyway, it's truly an honor, Dr. Dogra. You're a great friend, and really thank you for coming on the show. It is truly an honor.
Thank you for having me, and I wish you the best. And to all the audiences and attendees, please feel free. If you have any question, please contact me or Ramanna. I will be very happy to answer your questions. And thank you for your time. Have
Thank
a
you.
wonderful evening. Thank you.
We are retelling their stories through our patented designs that can be worn on scrubs, t-shirts, printed on conference bags, and endless other promotional materials. Daily Wear for Medicine is the first ever of its kind to create curiosity in medicine through visual art. We at MedBricks are celebrating unsung heroes of the past who made enormous contributions to the field of medicine through our unique campaign called Daily Wear for Medicine. You can wear it, carry it, and give it.